we're back at it again. Our favorite thing to be doing, fencing. I guess earlier this week, there was a bit of a meltdown and we realized we needed to get the channel fence done in order to move the sheep. And amazingly enough, we have the fence up. So now we'll take you back and show you that after, but now we are on to building our gates. So we're going to show you how we build our gates here at Hickorycroft Farm. It's basically a simple thing. We're using scraps that we have around here, stuff that we've kind of not borrowed from other projects, but we've just kind of reused it, I guess. Things that we've taken apart and decided we could use it for other things. So we currently have a 12-foot gate we have to make, a 10-foot gate, a 5-foot human walkthrough, and a 4-foot human walkthrough. So those 4 gates are what's on the docket. Probably not going to get them all done today, but that's okay. We're going to start with our 12-foot and we're going to show you how we do it. So in our efforts to salvage as much as possible from projects around here, everybody knows the price of lumber is crazy right now. We have 3 12-foot deck boards that we actually took off of a fence from one of our chicken runs. And weren't needed anymore because we had it there for when we had the goats because they always stood on it. But now none of our animals stand on it, do they, Chris? No. So we're going to start with that, and then we have 6 4-foot boards cut, which are going to be end, middle, and other end with the 12-foot sandwiched in. But first we're going to tack the first 3 boards on, and then we're going to put on our 2x4 wire, which again is salvaged. We actually brought this 2x4 wire from our old place. We took down an old duck pen. It's gotten a little bit rusty on the one end, but it's not going to be bad for a gate. And it's nice because this will just keep the lambs from going through and chickens from going through. It will be perfect.
So there's the makings of a gate. So you'll see down here we're putting spacers in that'll fill in these gaps just to try to make it a little sturdier when we put the other board on. It should work pretty well, and then once we get the 2 are cut, once we get the other 2 cut, we're going to put the wire on and see how this goes.
So Chris is making some great progress here. He's got the wire tacked on. We've already got our, what are you calling that, clamp kind of board on that end. So that's the spacers are in, and then the second board on top. We did opt not to put spacers on the middle because I really don't think it's going to make a whole lot of difference. No. And then down here, again, wire is all tacked on and good, nailed on, and spacers are in. But what we have found here is we're salvaging an old wheel off of a metal, what do they call those gates?
A tube gate.
Aluminum tube gate, which of course is not made for wood. And so with these being the 3 1-inch boards, we actually had a 3-inch thick gate, and it was only made for a 2-inch thick. So we've actually taken it and just notched out there, as you can see, to make this work. Salvaging at its best. So we're going to get this all put the rest together, carried down there, and we'll show you, hopefully, putting it up.
Well, it is, what, pretty much coming up on the end of the day on Sunday, and what we figure we've got about an hour's worth of work maybe left on the fence to put this gate up, and we've got one little bit to finish. But I'll show you here in a minute. We've made some progress, so I suppose that's good. And tomorrow's a holiday, so also good. It means there's one more day. So there's our gate. We're just going to put the wheel on, and then we're going to get to hanging it up here. And so where it's going is between this post and this post, so that we basically have a gate that we can either swing open over to here if we want the cows to go that way, or we can swing closed so that we have the channel for cows, sheep, whatever we want to run back there. But the progress, which you get a little glimpse of there, is
the fence is up!
We have a channel fence. You can't see it all the way there. We have a crib. We'll take you, after we get the gate up, we'll go down and take a look at the crib and the other section. But outside of this gate that we're assembling now, and a couple of panels and a human walk-through gate. Technically 2 human walk-through gates, but and then we can run the sheep back here. We can actually use the channel as a pasture for a bit. Well, it's kind of turning into one of those weekends, I guess, where we're getting stuff done, but it just feels like for everything we get done, about 4 other things fight against us. Anyways, long story short,
the gate is now tied in place.
Yes, it's tied in place. We had a bit of a pretty major setback yesterday, nothing to do with fences. Came back out this morning, and anyways, the finickiness of hardware, we're like, what, a ½ an inch too short?
Yeah, our bolts were a ½ inch too short. So,
yep. So we've got
and it's holiday Monday, so of course we're not going to be shopping for those today.
So that's not happening, but the sheep are still coming out. So it's tied on, and if they get out, I don't think they will.
There's too much food for them to go
There's too much food in here. So on that note, we got to go put in one more T-post, which will work because it's a T-post and has no moving parts. No fiddly bits. And then we're going to finish up.
And the handy dandy baler twine.
Oh yes, baler twine.
We should document that down there, just how much baler twine we've used in this project. No homestead should be without baler twine. If you get the proper, the square bales that have the proper, what's that stuff made out of? It's not that horrible blue stuff. We're talking like the proper twine.
Stuff, the proper, the old school stuff.
The old school twine. Hang on to that stuff. I almost said a bad word. Because you never know. We use that so much around here, tying up fences, tying posts, temporary whatever, because as much as you want to believe there is not going to be a lot of temporary, there is always a lot of temporary on the homestead. So hang on to that baler twine. That's the tip for today, since we haven't shown you how to complete a gate yet.
Nope.
Baler twine. Baler twine. Baler twine. The horrible synthetic stuff, actually. Baler twine. Baler twine. And we are about to install more baler twine. And they've discovered that the channel is open. And they made it like 10 feet. It's a beautiful clover patch right there. And I think they're quite happy with that.
The good news is we have a channel done enough that we can run sheep and cows down it.
Yep.
It's not finished, but it's done enough.
Yeah. This is our last bit here. Again, just kind of temporary because we don't have a gate, but cattle panel up and tied on with handy dandy baler twine. So to be honest, after 3 days of trying to get this stinking thing done and a few setbacks along the way, we've decided we're going to spend the rest of Holiday Monday gardening. We have a lot of stuff that's been put off to get these animals happy, and now we've got to get it in because this is our last frost date, so time to plant.